The third core of Bleach's 1000-year blood war has just concluded, and I loved every single second of the past 40 episodes in this arc. Today I absolutely meet ride one of the big three because I feel like it. There might be spoilers, hopefully not, because I can't control myself otherwise. Okay, enough of the dirty jokes. For real, Bleach has been a roller coaster, at least for me. Starting all the way back in 2022, to dropping it halfway to pick it up again late 2024, and questioning my life choices as to why I dropped it in the first place. Bleach is a shonen anime. With its debut back in 2004, the series rose in popularity alongside Naruto and One Piece, in which they claim to be the big three of the golden era of anime, increasing their popularity and aging like fine wine as time passed on. Still to this day, all three still have relevance as One Piece is still ongoing, Boruto, Naruto's next generations, and well, Bleach's final arc. Honestly, you can hate me for all of this, but Ichigo is by far the drippiest MC in the history of Japanese media. It's not just Ichigo though. The entire main cast too. Okay, I'm sorry to have to stare at you with my own two dirty eyeballs. The story is still a typical shonen, however, unlike most, Ichigo didn't have an objective or a huge goal like Luffy's quest to be the Pirate King, or Naruto's goal to be the Hokage. He just so happened to meet Rukia, in which he gained temporary Shinigami powers in order to protect his town. But Ichigo has a desire to protect Karakura town and start ore farming with a jawline sharp enough to pierce a mountain. On a real note, Ichigo did really care about his family. He's overprotective of Yuzu and Karin and still cares about his dad, even though they pummel and beat each other just like what ordinary father and sons do. The difference in goals to me already makes Ichigo a little more interesting, as he's a contrast from the happy, optimistic go-lucky protagonist. Ichigo is always serious and everything he does and says feels real, as if he's literally just an ordinary person trying to get through his problems. He doesn't have aspirations, he simply just wants the world to be at peace, which stems from his savior complex that has been displayed countless times. Ichigo is very straightforward and direct, always asking questions and trying to find the source of everything. Whenever he trains, he wants to get stronger as soon as possible to protect what he holds dear. Ichigo feels like that one friend who always speaks the truth no matter the circumstance. He doesn't beat around the bush, but whatever he feels isn't right, he tries to solve it, even if it means going to such lengths to achieve it. Upon first impressions, he struck me as a very introverted and mature individual, with an intimidating appearance but inside a very selfless and caring personality. So why did I pick it up again? Well, I was bored. Bored enough to watch a new series, but I remembered Bleach on the continue watching section on a pirated website collecting dust. So with pure pressure and lots of curb stomping, I did it. I finally decided to finish it. This was probably my first anime where I was thankful for the filler. I ain't watching all that. I'm honestly surprised I wasn't burnt out. What stood out to me in the original Bleach was the side characters actually having their own personality. Okay, that's a shot in the dark, but hear me out. Kubo created his female characters with lots of love. Yoruichi and Nell stood out to me. Not only are they really attractive characters, their significance to the main cast was displayed so well I genuinely was impressed. Even up until the final arc, they weren't cast away and forgotten. Their contributions to the story have probably helped Ichigo more times than Sakura did for Naruto. All of them are extremely likable, which made it very hard to decide on a favorite character. No, seriously, I caught myself switching between them all throughout my Bleach journey. Ichigo's squad, the coolest party on my shonen list, which consists of Chad, Orihime, Ishida, and Ichigo. The four never disappoint whenever they are on screen together. Okay, yeah, Ishida is probably the only one that could be on par with Ichigo, but I don't care. I love them all, especially Chad. He may not be the strongest character, but he has his moments, and he's also the group's tank. The world building in Bleach was actually pretty well done. Even though we constantly had flashback backshots left and right, it helped understand what was going on and the character's purpose. Since there were so many significant characters, it was so tempting to skip the episode-long flashback and move on to the next fight, which I highly advise you not to do. It's worth it, trust me. You'll need it to understand the later arcs. I truly wish we got to see more in each of the three worlds. Although most of the fights happen in Soul Society and Hueco Mundo, I want to know if the pits were the only places where the hollows lived, or if Ichigo took a vacation to the city and he was met with foes that he could clash on Mount Fuji or in Shibuya. Thankfully though, most of my questions were answered in TYBH, so I wouldn't have to explain any further. I was very interested in the Shinigamis in Soul Society, with how everything was structured. It felt like the closest representation to our society, compared to the world of the living, the literal Earth in the series. It was a floating realm separated by walls like the Shiganshina in Attack on Titan. On one hand, those who had no capabilities as a Shinigami reside in towns on the outskirts, and I never understood if the S's funded their necessities or if they were to fend for themselves. On the other were obviously those who controlled the Ryatsu, which is their spiritual pressure to exist within the walls and to train to serve the Gotei 13. It was a very interesting place as collectively Shinigami, souls, and humans could coexist within the realm, acting like a purgatory or a gate before a transitional period. There was a lot of filler, which is to be expected. Some of them weren't too bad, however, you should not skip episode 228. Even though it's filler, you will deeply understand the characters and possibly like them even more throughout the rest of Bleach. That's the biggest reason I decided to continue. After countless yapatonic episodes, the reason I got hooked were the fight scenes. What kind of shonen anime doesn't have battles? Soul Society seems to be the undisputed arc in the original Bleach, which is completely understandable. It's the first major arc and the fight scenes were amazing. One of Ichigo's biggest power-ups happened in this arc and its usage becomes increasingly common afterwards. Alright, I'm not going to prolong this video for the sake of retention, but this is my take on Bleach and you should definitely watch it if you're already an avid anime fan. Please subscribe, I'm locked in the basement.